One more time for my people.
Snowing in, hey.
I'm getting money. I only live one way. That's Monday through Sunday. See me on the highway. They calling me the Fly J. That's what you got. What up, my guys? Welcome to another show, man. Saturday edition. NBA Talk with Jay. Like I say, it's only 2 games today, but I just have to do a show for the people, man. I know people gonna be asking, "Oh, what you like today? What you like?" You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to my guy Chris coming on with me. We're supposed to have LJ as well, guys, but LJ will be on the show tomorrow as well. Maybe Chris come back with us as well tomorrow, man. But it's Saturday. We're trying to get some cash, man. Coming off a nice week, man. I must say it was a monster fucking week. I can't even lie to you guys, but let's try to keep it going today. Chris, first and foremost, how you doing over there, my brother? Is everything cool with you?
I'm good, Jay. I'm good, man. Like you said, it's been a pretty good week. I ain't hot as you, Jay, but I'm a little hot right now too, man. I think we've been talking about it all season. When we really know what teams have to do, getting these desperation spots is a little bit easier. Throughout the beginning of the season, this is something I remember you talking about this at the beginning of the season, Jay. At the beginning of the season, the old players trying to get into a groove, and it's just it's a lot going on, man. So I think I was thinking about this last night. The beginning of the season, I'm probably going to chill out a little bit, smaller bets. But now that we know what we need to happen, I think it makes a little bit more sense. So it's easier for us to kind of pick our spots, man. I'm loving the not the card for today, but I'm loving how it's been going recently for sure.
You're right. And when you're seeing things well, you kind of just have to go with your good, man. Shout out to our guy Ronald in the chat. Everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to everybody, but our guy Ronald is in the chat, man. Ronald, you could have brought your ass on the show too, man. Ronald will be wanting to come on the show, man. But I'm messing with you. But yeah, everything's going good. And like I always tell people, man, I appreciate everybody for sticking with us through the ups and the downs as well. You see what I'm saying? Because
the real
it's not
ones,
always,
Jay.
yeah. Because obviously the year didn't start off well, man. Shit was crazy. But guess what? I'm going with the same spots. I don't really switch my style of cap. I'm going with the same spots. They weren't hidden for us early in the season. Now it's coming to fruition, guys. So I just wanted to let people know that I hadn't changed anything. I don't even view myself as hot. I'm just going with what I know. See what I'm saying? And betting my plays and then living with the results, man. But let's get into these 2 games today, my guys. We appreciate everybody in the chat. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, man. All that good stuff. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. We appreciate your time here on this Saturday, man. But 2 games, let's get straight to them, man. Let's go over here to the streets of Miami here, man. Go hit the beach one time. See what I'm saying? Heat land a point here at the house versus the Mavs. Really tough game, right? I mean, it's 2 tough games today, man, but it's a tough one to kind of figure out on this one. Both teams need to win this game. Obviously, the Mavs are sitting on the outside looking in. Here, right, Chris? So this is a tough game. Fourth straight road game as well. They did have 2 days off of rest. Heat coming off a little 2-game road trip. They've had 2 days rest as well. Then they're coming off 3 straight losses here, Chris. So which team can we back? Which team do you feel more comfortable with in this one?
Honestly, Jay, like you said, it's just a desperation spot for both of these teams, man. First thing I wrote in my notes is 2 desperate teams on the downswing at the end of the season. So both of these teams kind of needing to win. So let me break down the Mavs first. The thing I don't like in the Mavs, from the Mavs perspective, Jay, is it's the first leg of a back-to-back. They get the Atlanta Hawks tomorrow. So don't really like it from that perspective, but they do need every win, as do the Miami Heat as well. This Mavs team has lost 5 of their last 6. Straight up, and they've only covered 2 of the last 6 as well. They were in that game, Jay. I know you probably were watching. They were in that game against Philly 2 nights ago till about 6 minutes left, and they just couldn't close down the stretch. I think that's a sign to me that they just don't have the chemistry quite together yet, kind of fumbling away late in the fourth quarter. I also looked at the the Mavs. They're 1-3 straight up and against the spread post All-Star break on the road with both Kyrie and Luka in. That only win, Jay, came against the Pacers in a game that they didn't have Tyrese Halliburton and they didn't have Miles Turner in that spot as well. Also 0-2 after the All-Star break, playing with a spread that's a small spread, so 3 points either way. On the opposite side, you look at this Heat team, loses, like you said, 3 in a row. They didn't cover any of those spreads either. But those were 3 playoff contending teams that they just lost to. They lost to the Knicks, they lost to the Nets, and then they lost to Toronto, I think, as well. So post All-Star break, this Heat team, Jay, the reason why I don't want to back them either, they're bottom 10 both defensively and offensively, right? Which is kind of crazy. I went through, I'm checking my beat reporters. I'm trying to find anything I possibly can, but it does kind of feel like their offensive struggles more recently has been what's kind of shot them in the foot. 3 games, they failed to score more than 100 points. They scored 100 points in one of those games. So like you said, it kind of, it's kind of conflicting. One of the things I looked at, Jay, from a Curry perspective and a trends perspective, since the start of the 2017 season, teams playing their fourth consecutive road game of a 5-game road trip, in which they're also on the first leg of a back-to-back after game number 60. So the important games, they are 0-7 straight up and against the spread in this spot. It's a small sample, but that it's only happened 3 times in the last year, but it does kind of give support to the Heat kind of winning this game and covering the small spread. I also think that Bam Adebayo and Kyle Lowry both were they haven't been rolled in yet.
I'm looking at that right now, Chris. I'm like, hey, what's up with Bam?
I don't know if you heard it, Jay, but he did the they did the practice interview yesterday, and he talked about sense of desperation. I mean, both of these teams are desperate, though. I think you can kind of throw that out the window. I do think that no matter what, because I'm just bringing the information to you guys. No matter what, if you like the Heat, you probably want to jump on them now. I think in a desperation spot like this, Kyle Lowry's going to be ruled in, Jay. He didn't play in the last game because he hasn't been medically cleared to play in back-to-backs, and that was a back-to-back traveling from Toronto to New York to take on the Knicks the other day. He's going to get ruled in this desperation spot, and I think Bam's going to play as well. So if you like the Heat, you probably want to get on them now because that number's probably going to go up at least a half a point, maybe even a full point when those guys get ruled in. Also, real quick on the total, Jay, because I'm like, bro, I want to play the game some way. I want to get some action some way. But it's a lot of conflicting things on the total as well, Jay. I looked at from a league-wide perspective this season, road teams playing on the first leg of a back-to-back in a tight game, so 3-point spread either way. Those teams are 38-22 to the under. So that's a 63.3% cover rate for just playing the under in this spot. The Mavs are 5-0 to the under in their last 5 games with both Kyrie and Luka playing together, going under by an average of 10 points as well. They brought the defense to Philly the other day. Also, Mavs 7-2 to the under, Jay, when they're playing road games with a small spread of 3 points or less, and either way, with both of the overs actually going to overtime. So I like, if I'm looking at the total, I think it's some trends that kind of support the under. But the Mavs, they've been struggling season wide against top defensive teams as well. This is when they typically give up a bunch of points. Same thing for the Heat. The Heat are, extremely inefficient as well when they're playing against teams that don't play that much defense. So it's a lot of conflicting things on both the total and the side, Jay. If I'm playing the game, I'm probably taking the point with the Heat just because they're the home team. Don't like the spot as much for the Mavs, right. But I didn't play it, Jay. I just kind of broke it down, trying to get the information to the people, man.
Man, and I appreciate you for that info as well, man. But like you said, on both sides, man, I really feel like this is a coin flip type of game, man. If whichever happened, wouldn't be surprised with side and total here, to be honest with you. Bam Adebayo, like you said, I mean, this is really a must-win game for both teams. At least the Heat look like they're inside the playoffs, so that's what's keeping me off the Heat here, right? The Mavs sitting at like the 11th seed right now. If they want to make the playoffs, this is an absolute must-win. But the Heat, they're the team that's coming off 3 straight losses as well, so they don't want to lose 4 straight. But the only thing with the Heat is if they're not knocking down their shots, remember, Chris, they've been tailing off on the defensive end. They've been having to do it with offense. But then when you only score 92 points over your last couple games, it's hard to win with offense, right? So the offense or defense hadn't been there. I still think that like the game versus the Nets, they got blown out by 30. They still hadn't bounced back from that. See what I'm saying? So I expected if it was the real deal Heat, they were supposed to bounce back from that by now versus the Knicks versus the Raptors. One of those, it hadn't come yet. One thing I can tell you, they're getting really frustrated with Kyle Lowry. They thought they were getting an all-star point guard over there. My guy's like an old bum over there. He's not even really giving them much. Like, he was supposed to be the starting point guard for this team to elevate them to a championship level, and it hadn't happened. So, like, they're really out on Lowry. Like, they can't wait to get rid of his ass. They can't believe that they paid that money for Lowry over there. Bam should play in this game. I'm with you. Bam and Lowry should play in this. So if you like the Heat, bet it now. If you want the Mavs, wait till Bam gets ruled into this game. But really tough game for me. This is probably the main type of game that you'd like to look at some props in this one. It's going to be really hard for them to stop Luka. We know Kyrie with the Ramadan. He might stop himself tonight, but as well, Bam Adebayo, if he plays, which we expect him to, he should have a good game as well. We know that the Mavs centers aren't the toughest centers, but also on the other end, the Heat don't really have a backup center. I mean, they got Omar Yurt-7, but he's a rookie over there. You see what I'm saying? So I'll be honest, I'm not forced to play on this game, man. I can't do it. It'll make me even more pissed if I force a loss here, guys. So this is a revenge spot. The Mavs did already smack them up earlier this year. You see what I'm saying? So on one end, you could say it's a revenge spot for the Heat. Heat. But on the other end, you say the Mavs beat their ass by 25 points as a 2-point underdog. See what I'm saying? So Mavs might just match up really well with the Heat. It's a really tough game for me, guys. Like I say, I'm not betting this game. This is if you're looking for some props, 3-point props, things like that, turnovers, all that. This is a game that you want to look at props. I really feel like the side is really tough to figure out. Two teams in desperation mode in here. And you don't know if the Mavs not the greatest defensive team, but in the last game, they kind of showed if you're going to come out desperate, you got to play defense here. So playoff style type of game, maybe you would lean to the under here, but it's just a really tough game for me to figure out. I'm not betting this one. Like I said, we come over here, bring you the info. If I'm betting something, I'll let you know. If Chris betting something, he definitely going to let you know as well. But I didn't place a single wager on this game. Great game to watch. Maybe live bet. If either team gets down by 10, I would live bet the other one. I do think this will be a close game and close within 5. So that would be my suggestion. Watch this game, live bet it. If somebody gets a 6 or 7 point lead, or definitely 10-point lead, I would live bet the other team. I think this game going to come down to the wire in this one, Chris. Any other thoughts on this one before we get to the next one?
You took the thought. The last thought I had, Jay, was what you just said, right? Like I talked about that yesterday with the Nets and who did the Nets play yesterday? The Hawks. Live betting game in a very short point spread type game, coin flip type game. You definitely want to watch because you probably make more money, taking this game live. Like you said, if somebody does go on a run, we know that the NBA goes on runs all the time, Jay. So one of these teams come out hot, go up 15. I'm definitely live betting the other team. 10 points, I'm live betting it. So I think live betting this one is probably the best play if you're going, just looking at the side.
That's a fact.
Yeah, if you're looking at the side.
Yeah, that's a good point right there, man. Yeah, really tough one for me, man. Like I say, the Mavs, we're not really sure where their headspace is. They're still not out of the play-in hunt, the playoff hunt, so they have all the motivation in the world. I think that's probably why I give a little bit of an edge to the Mavs, because they're on the outside looking in. At least the Heat are pretty much cemented in the play-in term. You see what I'm saying? So if the Mavs win them at the playoffs, these are the must-win type of games, in my opinion here. So slightest leans to the Mavs, but I will not be betting this game. I know for sure, guys. Let's head over here to the next game. The last game as well. We're going to the streets of New Orleans here. Pelicans laying 3.5 at the house versus the LA Clippers in this one. Clippers come on a back-to-back in this one, Chris, but guess what do we also have? We got a fade spot for the Pelicans here. And then I'll tell you, I really want to get there with the Clippers. First half, full game, something, Chris. Try to talk me into it. I know the Pelicans been balling. They can play some top-tier defense, but this is the first game coming back off their road trip, 4 game. We see time and time again, teams don't really have their best effort in this particular spot, guys. So Clippers, they've been dropping. Hell, if they lose this game, they might be like dropping into the play-in tournament or something. So I think all the motivation is there for the Clippers. They rested Kawhi in the second half of the game last night. Kind of just gave up in the game, like, all right, we're going to look ahead to the Pelicans in the game next night. So they could be the team that's in theory in more rhythm here when you have the Pelicans coming off a 4-game West Coast road trip. First game back at the house. Chris, how you looking at this one, my brother?
Yeah, it's another really difficult one, Jay. But one of the things you pointed out was the first thing I looked at too. The Pelicans, like you said, they've been red hot, probably the best team in the NBA over the. I think they got the best record. Them and like the Grizzlies, probably like 8-2, I think, in their last 10 games, playing some of their best basketball that we've seen without Zion in the lineup for sure. They're 6-1 straight up and against the spread in their last 7. But you mentioned, Jay, this is the first game coming back home. However, after that 4-game road trip, not a spot that you really want to back any team in. This game does mean a lot for the Pelicans, Jay. I think when I looked at it, they sit in the 8th spot in the Western Conference, and they do have the toughest remaining schedule, Jay. So that's what kind of talked me off of the Clippers in this spot. I think the Pelicans could win this game and the Clippers could still cover. It does feel like one of those coin flip type games for me as well. So I looked at it, Jay. So the Pelicans, Jay, they got the Kings, then they got Memphis, and then they got the Knicks. So they got the Pelicans. They got the toughest schedule.
They all at the house though.
All at the crib. They all at the crib.
House.
But they got all 3 of those games. But I will say this: they do have until Tuesday. They don't play the Kings until Tuesday. So it does feel like a game they can kind of go all out for. You know what I mean? Like they can kind of go all out for this game. On the Clipper side, 3rd game in 4 nights. But you mentioned I don't know what they're doing out there, Jay.
Chris, somebody just told me don't bet the Clippers.
Oh, that means they're gonna win there. We taking the Clippers, yeah. That's all we needed to know. That's all we needed to know.
What was you saying? I wasn't trying to cut you off.
No, you're good. I was just saying that this is the 3rd game in 4 nights. They're coming off the loss where they sit Kawhi. So, like you said, and it was cool. It was Kawhi and Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon didn't play in the second half either. So, like you said, it means that they're also, Jay, I don't know if people watching it in the standings. You gotta check this stuff every single day. They're only a game ahead of Golden State, who beat the Spurs last night. So this game still means a lot to them as well. So yeah, I don't know, Jay. It's difficult, man. They don't play well in Memphis. I'm sorry, in New Orleans. I don't know if you looked at that. Only 6-22 in the last 28 games in New Orleans, but to me, it kind of feels like I think the spread. I wanted to go up just a tad bit more, Jay. I think if it touches 4, all the public money I think will come in on the Pelicans just because they're the hotter team right now. And then you jump on the Clippers late. I think you jump on the Clippers late. Another game I couldn't talk you off a live bet as well. But that's what I kind of got. I don't really like this game either.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I did get a haircut the other day, and so the Clippers, it doesn't work when on the day that I get a haircut. It's like it has to be like after, you know what I'm saying? Like the day after I get a haircut or something, man. The Pelicans have beat them the last 3 times, right? This is a double revenge spot for the Clippers. I could only look towards the Clippers here plus 3.5. And you know what, Chris? What I'm rooting for? I want the Pelicans to lose this game, and then I'll be on them. I'll probably be on them trifecta spot next game versus the Kings. I'm telling you that right now. So I'd actually, and like I say, first game back off a 4-game road trip, I do not want the Pelicans here. This is one that I have a strong lean on. I didn't bet it, but Clippers plus 3.5 would be my top look in this game. I lean their way in the first half as well. I lean Clippers first half full game. This could be a trifecta spot for the Clippers. We saw them come out last night with emphasis. The Grizzlies just came, you know what I'm saying? The second quarter was crazy. Grizzlies came all the way back and covered the first half as well. This is a spot where I actually see the Clippers coming out top tier. We know coming off their road trip, even in the first quarter, it's not the best. I know the Pelicans ball at the house, but this is sometimes when fatigue can set in and you don't see the best effort as well from the team. They don't have their legs. You see what I'm saying? You know what's going to happen if you've been away from the house for a week and a half. You know what's happening when you come to the house, guys. So I won't even get into it, but you dig what I'm saying. So no legs here tonight. I do not want the Pelicans here laying 3.5. This will be a public special here, Chris. They're gonna say, "Oh, they're hot." And remember, who did they just beat? The Rockets, the Spurs, the Hornets. They beat the Clippers in a bad spot. That's what I'm saying. Like this is a revenge spot just from like a week ago as well. This is quick revenge. They beat the Blazers. That shit does not count. They beat the Nuggets. Yeah, they beat the Nuggets. A wounded Nuggets team, no Jokic
without Jokic. So yeah,
I'm kind of discrediting the Pelicans wins right now. I'm sorry, man, because even the game versus the Warriors, they came out hot. You see what the Warriors did in the second half, so I could really see the Pelicans run out of gas in this one. If I'm betting this game, I'm betting the Clippers plus 3.5. I really think that's the top spot of the day. Like I say, first half or full game, guys. One of those. If I'm betting some today, it's gonna be Clippers, but it is a toss up though. I'll be honest, but I don't think the Pelicans win this game, Chris. I'll tell you that right now. I think this is I think the Clippers win this one outright, my brother. Any thoughts on the total or anything before we get out of here, my brother?
Yeah, Jay. Real quick, shout out to Austin, to A Wang. I see he put he put it in the chat earlier, Jay. That's something I was looking at as well. You look at these teams in this quick revenge spot, Jay. So game play within 7 days, same opponent, of course, and the total actually opens higher. I know Ski always talk about that if you know system when he comes on, where they set the total lower. Typically, it's opposite, Jay. I know you talked about this recently as well. So since 2015, when two teams play against each other, within a 7-day window, the first total went over outside of the playoffs, and then the total is set higher. Those games are going over, Jay, about 60%. So you already see some money come in on the over in this spot. I think it opened at 223. It's up to about 226 now, 223.5, something like that. So if I'm playing this game, I am looking towards the over. The Clippers just got Norman Powell back as well. We know they needed him for the offensively as well, and they'll have everybody back. Besides Paul George. So if I'm playing the game, I'm playing the over.
Bro, Jerry guy, bro, you see what this guy said? Bro? Come on, bro. This guy said them dudes why is probably getting smacked. Bro, settle down, bro. Bro, chill out, bro. Bro, chipped out right there, man. I hope not, man. I hope not. They had the bums come through when their husbands go. Hopefully not, man. But I'm sorry, guys. I can only look towards the Clippers here. I didn't bet it was two super tough games for me. And I'll be honest with you guys. On the weekends is when I went back and tracked my plays for the whole season. I get smacked on the weekends. I'm talking about Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Those are my 3 worst days of the week, guys. So it's like, do you want me to force you to play and then lose? So I'll probably have some for tomorrow. But today, I'll tell you, man, if I want to do at least a little sprinkle on the Clippers, I'm probably not going to bet. I don't feel like getting pissed off today. I want to chill with the fam. You see what I'm saying? I got business to handle, all that type of stuff. I'm going to watch some college basketball. And guys, if you have some plays, man, post them in the chat as well, man. We all trying to cash here. like I said, we just did the show trying to give the info out for you guys. But I'm telling you right now, I don't have anything official. But if I'm betting some today, it will be Clippers first half and Clippers full game. I know they're coming off a back-to-back, but I think that the Pelicans spot, them coming home off 4-game road trip, holds a lot of weight, in my opinion. And as the later the season goes, that's a worse spot, right? All the travel starts to catch up with you. You can't wait to get back to the house here. So this would be the letdown spot for the Pelicans, in my opinion. If the Clippers come in this game and want to win with that focus, with the defense, I think they can get it done in this one. And then, like I said, I'm rooting for Pelicans to lose this one. I'll be on the next game versus the Kings, trifecta spot. I'm telling you that right now, my guys. But that's the show, my brothers. Let's get out of here. Like I say, it's nothing really to recap, but what you got to promote, Chris? You got hats over there. My guy got hoodies, all types of stuff. He's doing a couple shows. He do a show even earlier than me, Cashier Chris, man, doing the late show as well. With having everybody with the spaces, all that shit, Chris. I see you, my brother.
Bro.
Anything to promote, my brother, and any leans for today's card?
We just trying to win, Jay. We just trying to win, man.
Thanks.
Like you said, we seen the board a little bit clear, but just because I like what you said, Jay, just because we seen the board clear and you're winning, don't necessarily mean you got to force a play, right? Especially if you hate losing. If you hate losing, don't force the play, man. Like I said, and as far as promotion, Jay, I don't really have anything to promote, man. Just check me out. All my work can be found over on YouTube at Crispy Cappinn, 2 P's, 2 N's. Like you said, I got a YouTube channel. I'm doing 2 shows a day as well. Just trying to cash, like you said, it's always free. It's always positive vibes, and for the community, trying to spread information and give out the knowledge to help people make the most informed plays that they possibly can, man. And as far as the card for today, Jay, I think in the first game, like I said, not a pre-play, but a live play is if one of those teams get up, because I will be watching. If one of those teams get up by 10 points, I will most likely be betting the opposite team. To kind of keep that game close and catching the live spread. I did it yesterday with Orlando. Orlando went down to Washington at the end of the third quarter, came back and smashed them. I think I got a plus 8.5 yesterday with the Wizards at the end of the third quarter. So definitely, check out these live spots, especially if these games mean as much to both teams. And we talked about that already. So, and then in the second game, Jay, I'm with you. I think I lean Clippers, but I didn't play it. I also lean the over. Like I talked about, I think both of these teams can be able to score. I got a trend that supports it about 60% of the time as well. So I lean over, but like you said, nothing official for me as well. Like you said, just wanted to do the show to kind of share the looks, man. 13-game card for tomorrow, Jay. I'm gonna go ahead and jump on that.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, the lines are already out for tomorrow, guys. And I'm gonna get into this card as well for tomorrow. You see what I'm saying? But I'll be honest. Like I said, if I had one top look today, guys, it would be Clippers plus the 3.5. I think the public will be all over the Pelicans in this one. I think the Clippers win this game outright. This is a much bigger game for the Clippers, in my opinion. And I'll be honest, the Clippers are the better overall team as well. They have the better bench. They have the more fluid offense, in my opinion. The Pelicans have those defenders over there. Trey Murphy's been balling, but Herb Jones, guys like that, I mean, they have the much better defense. I'll be honest, Chris, I do lean to the under in that Clippers game, but you know me, I'm not the total guy. But if I had one top play today, like say if I was going to force something, it would be Clippers plus the 3.5 full game right there, guys. I lean Clippers trifecta spot, to be honest, which I wouldn't be surprised if they came out here and build a nice little lead so they can coast to the rest of the game and don't have to worry about running out of gas in this one, man. So that's my looks on the card, man. Nothing official for me today. I'm not trying to force a loser. I know that would piss me off as well if I force something and lost as well, guys. Corday, I think you the guy that won the raffle, my guy. So y'all hit me up, man. It's 2 people that won the $40 yesterday. Lakers came back and took care of us. Let's get some cash. We will be back tomorrow, man. 13 game slate, guys. So try to get some cash for sure tomorrow. If I'm betting some today, it's the Clippers plus 3.5, my guys. That's what I think the top look is, but nothing official for me today, man. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. They posting picks in the chat, man. Props, baseball, all that good stuff, man. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate everybody for the support as well. Hit the like button, subscribe. It's Us Against the Bookies. We back tomorrow. Let's take the Bookies to Smack City, man. Let's go, man. We out. Let's get some cash.